and on the couch with us right now I have Dan Meyer, and it's always good to have him here and to talk to us a little bit about what the Boone Area Chamber's got going on, but he's also going to talk to us a little bit about offline marketing. So thank you so much for being here with me.
Always good to be here. Always good to be here. Let me tell folks a few things that are coming up. On the 18th is our Spelling Bee for Grown-Ups. If you've ever attended, you know you want to be back, and if you've never attended, you ought to come.
Yeah.
It's a great time. We ask businesses. You have your team?
Well, we have done a team before, but we're not a real good bunch of spellers.
That's why we want you. Because in order to stay in the competition, you got to have a B-Buck.
Well, that's true.
And so it is a fundraiser. It's a fundraiser for this year for the Western Youth Network and for their after-school tutoring program.
Okay.
So that's where a portion of the proceeds are going. So anybody, any organization, business, any special group, a family. We've had some families that just want to jump in. It's $60 for a 4-member team, and you get a couple B-Bucks with that. And you give your team a name, and you pick out some representative costume, and y'all could come in white coats, see, like you're
could.
Pharmacist or something.
We're sophisticated.
Yeah, yes. And a table decoration, and then we have a write it down spelling bee. But we have a lot of fun with it. Usually have 30 to 40 teams. It's going to be at the high school gym, 5 to 7 on the 18th. So keep that in mind. And then on the 20th will be our March Business After Hours, and that's going to be at the Holiday Inn Express.
Okay.
So those are two big things coming up this month yet. Great.
And the Holiday Inn Express, if you haven't been there just because you live here in the high country and you don't think you need a hotel, absolutely gorgeous.
It is. And they got an incredible relief wall in there, a sculptor that has done that. And for those of you who would like, there is outdoor swimming available that evening, but you bring your own suit. No swimming. So today, let's talk a little bit about marketing. Now, whenever anybody starts talking about marketing, the first thing they start talking about is website design, social media, network marketing, all of those kinds of things. Okay?
Yes. It's the big ones.
We're not going to talk about those today.
Okay.
We're going to talk about offline marketing, which still has an impact. The online stuff, we're moving from that. It's kind of it used to be a 60-40, 60% or 70% offline, 30% online, and we're beginning to see that change. But that doesn't mean that offline marketing is still not effective and still not something to invest your time and effort into. It's still very valuable. The younger people like the social and network marketing. The folks that are their parents and grandparents, we kind of like face-to-face stuff and reminders. So there are many things you can do in offline marketing to continue to advance your business. One of the big ones is networking. We were just talking about the business after hours. What better way to bump into a whole variety of other businesses and be able to share what you do? You never know when somebody's going to need the service that you offer. But if you're in their face, and I don't mean that in their space, but if they think of you or if they think of what they need and they see your face, boom, you've got a connection there.
Right.
So that's what After Hours is really about. The primary thing is, it is social, yes, but it's business too. I love being at After Hours when somebody says, you know what, I need somebody that could help me with this. And I say, oh, boy, so-and-so's here. Come here, let's get together. Let's walk right over there and meet them and that kind of thing. I see that as a function of the chamber, of connecting resources to needs or desires. And so that networking opportunity is very important. And there are lots of ways to do that. It's not just going to an event. It might be participating in an organization. Who knows? But you've got to be in front of your people, of your customers. Second, flyers.
Okay.
And everybody says, well, that's print advertising. That's on its way out and all that. Well, you know what? Flyers are still important. I can see from here, there's a bulletin board in that room right over there behind the camera. And there are flyers on the wall.
There are.
And if you go to my house and you go third drawer down under the phone, you'll see a drawer full of flyers of things to do when our grandkids come or when we have guests come or whatever else. Flyers are great because they share the variety of services or goods that you have. You can go into almost any restaurant here, into any hotel lobby, to any attraction, and you'll see brochures. Now, does everybody read them cover to cover? No. Does everybody take them home and file them away categorically or alphabetically? No. But when people pick something up, they're interested enough in what you have to read about you. Mm-hmm. And that leaves a lasting impression.
Right.
So flyers are great. There is a grocery store here in town that when you check out and you get your groceries, guess what? They put a flyer in it. Mm-hmm. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stop when I get in my car and read it, but it does mean when I get home and I take the things out of the bag, oh, there's that flyer. Oh, there's an interesting article there, and I want to read that. It offers connectivity.
Right.
And recognition and all of those kinds of things. So don't just poo-poo the idea of flyers. We just got Sunday paper. Mm-hmm. Do you see any flyers in it?
Oh, you get lots of flyers
Holy
in
cow,
there.
you sure do. You get a ton of them. Still a very economical way to get in touch with people,
right,
in your local area. So flyers are good.
Yeah, it's a good thing for a reminder too.
Right. Third, business cards.
Yes.
Do you know, people don't realize how valuable these are. If I go out and meet somebody for the first time, I immediately exchange a business card with them. Mm-hmm. And then when I get home, I take them out of my pocket, put them on my desk, and then when I come back into the office, I pick them up, and I have a file of things. Because I don't know when I might need that service or when one of our members might need to be in touch with somebody who provides that service. You can do a lot of things with business cards. You can not only have your logo on it and pertinent information, but a lot of people on the back, they might put, let me invite you, and they put down, here's the date and time, let me invite you to this event. Come and be my guest, and I'll meet you there. And here's the event, the time, the date, and your name. And again, it's a piece of connectivity. So business cards can be very valuable, and it may sound old school, but it's still an important offline marketing thing. Fourth, newsletter.
Yes.
If you're a customer of Blue Ridge Electric, guess what you're going to get?
You
get a newsletter in the mail.
You do.
And a lot of nonprofits send out newsletters. Yes, they impact you, or the nonprofits are trying to get some support out of it, but there's often helpful articles or things that you might want to be interested in because you're on their mailing list. So newsletters keep people up to date. You can do that, certainly online, but a printed newsletter is a great thing to have. Even if it's a one sheet that you just put in the bag. Upcoming sales, boom, mm-hmm. Use this on your next purchase, that type of thing. So newsletters still can be helpful. Fifth, sponsorships. Can't tell you how much attention you get when you sponsor an activity. We have what we call signature sponsors, and that is we get one business to sponsor an event, as opposed to the way it used to be done in the past, where you get 8 or 10 or 12, and that's a lot of calls to make, and then they get such a small representation. So the idea is, as a sponsor, you get all the PR.
Right.
So Blue Ridge Electric sponsors our upcoming customer service program. BB&T sponsored our annual meeting. The new furniture store just sponsored, Badcock just sponsored our after hours program. So that gets all the attention there.
Right.
I encourage every business out there to find a nonprofit that kind of trips your trigger and be a sponsor for them.
Absolutely.
Maybe it only means putting a little bucket by your register and just saying, hey, all the proceeds from this are going towards that nonprofit organization. We're actually going to do a workshop coming up in a few weeks tied to the Stone Soup group of folks. Those are nonprofits who get together, and we're going to do it how to engage the local business community. Don't go knocking on their door every week asking them for something. You need to be very pointed and very expressive in terms of what you want them to do for you, and ask them, can you put this in your budget? Don't think you're going to walk in and just get $1,000 or $100. They want to know, what is the return? What do I get out of this?
Right.
And if they're passionate about it, then they want to say, how can I help you with it? So sponsorships are very, very important in our community and anywhere. Billboards, whether we like them or not, they do get your attention.
Right.
Now, I've seen some of them up, it just says, made you look. And that was an empty billboard, but it made you look.
It did.
and got your attention, particularly for travelers. That's a big thing to draw folks in. So billboards can be used effectively. Do you use them wholesale-wise? No. You decide where you want to put it. I've encouraged our tourism friends to get a billboard and put it on I-40 in the Raleigh area. And they had a theme in the past that just said, come to the cool, and it would have a digital readout of what the temperature was here that's controlled by the actual temperature here in the high country. So when it's 95 and they're driving down 40 and they can say, hey, it's 75 in Boone, they say, whoa, I think I better go up there this weekend, that kind of thing. So you want to be sure you're strategically placed, that your message is clear, it's not overdone. You've probably seen some of the billboards the Chamber sponsored recently, which are what? Shop local.
Right.
It looks like a sticker on the back of a car, shop local. So billboards can still be used. Radio and TV, still very good means of getting the message out. They're telling us now that rather than spreading ads out, though, over a long period of time and having one here and one here and one here, that you're often better off to cluster them. So maybe over the matter of 1 week, you'd have 6 or 7. It draws attention. And if you've watched TV at all, you also recognize that sometimes businesses run ads back to back, almost the same exact ad back to back, just reinforces their message. So again, think about how you can use radio and television to get your message across. Why do you think I'm here?
That's right.
Why do you think we do radio? It's because we want that message out there that the Chamber is involved in the community, that the Chamber is working on behalf of the community, that the Chamber is the voice for small business here in the high country. And so we're pleased to be able to come on the air and be able to share that story every week. We all need reminders. And so radio and TV. Civic club memberships or organization memberships, very important networking opportunities. If you're in business, you ought to be involved in Kiwanis or Rotary or Lions Club, or we could kind of run down that list, because there you're going to be meeting with other business people, and it's an opportunity then with their organization to participate in community service. And community service elevates your recognition. When you're out doing something, or if you're out wearing a t-shirt that has that civic club name and here's the project they're working on, that makes a difference. And people say, wow, they're really interested in our community. I think I'd like to use them for the service that I need. And again, the nonprofits, I would mention them as a separate entity. Find the one that really you're passionate about and find ways to be involved with them. Offer to have a work day, offer to provide a meal to their board, serve on their board. Again, what you're doing is you're spreading out your network. You are expanding it so that more people are aware of what you do business-wise, but what you're passionate about personally and what your investment in the community is. It's interesting. I worked for a gentleman many years ago who, when asked to support a particular nonprofit in the community, he says, I don't do that. He says, I provide 6,500 jobs. That's all my community involvement. Well, that's nice that he could say that. I mean,
Right.
not everybody could do that, but we had to warm him up to the idea that it's more than just providing jobs. There's more out there that he could invest in. Let's see. Oh, here's another interesting one. I noticed when I walked into the studio out in the lobby area there's a mug. You know what the mug says on it? Mass General Store. Here's a pen, a very inexpensive pen, but it has a name on it. Mm-hmm. This one happens to be the Broyhill Inn and Conference Center, which isn't around anymore. But a simple pen, a simple mug, a simple something that is left as a reminder that you were there, that you were interested in them as a customer, and that you have service or good to provide, are great things to have. Little mementos, if you wish, so that when they see them, they're reminded of who you are and the service you provide. So there's 10 offline marketing things. We've talked a lot about some of the online marketing things, but again, don't forget you just can't ignore and go all online.
Right.
You still have to do both to really get your message out, and that's important. How are people going to know that you're there unless you put the message out? And the worst time to cut back on marketing is when business is bad.
That's right.
That's when you need to advertise and market your services, is when others have drawn back, you need to be out there. You need to be the name or the face that people think of when they need a service. How many different national brands are associated with an individual? And maybe it's a celebrity or somebody like that. And when you think of that person, you think of that product, or vice versa. Mm-hmm. Well, you can do that here locally too. A lot of our local businesses have their picture with their product or service to show that you're personal, to show that you're local, to show that you want to be involved. And I encourage our businesses out there to remember some of these offline marketing ideas.
Definitely. And offline marketing, a lot of these things are a better reminder than the ones on like social networking. Because when you're on Facebook, you're just scrolling through and, oh, I see that. But then you don't have anything to remind you of. But the pens and notepads, I know Boone Drug does a lot of that kind of thing. And we do a sponsorship of like sports with Parks and Recreation and mm-hmm. things like that. We do bag stuffers talking about different events or things that are going on and stuff. So these are great tips that you brought to our attention today.
Well, they just keep your face in front. You know who got the most attention last night at the Oscars?
No, I didn't get to watch that.
A pizza delivery guy.
Oh, yeah?
I tried to stop and look and say, what was the pizza company? Because they got multi-millions of dollars worth of marketing.
Oh, that's funny.
Because the host for the evening, can't remember her name now. Ellen DeGeneres. She ordered out pizza, literally, and here comes the pizza guy with pizza in there. And I was looking for the name on the box because that's marketing. You put it on your box.
It is. Put
it right there. So there's no question that pizza came from. It was Mama somebody's. I saw the Mama, but it moved too quick. So take advantage of those little things. If you use bags, put your name on it. If you use boxes, put your name on it. If you have a pen, throw it in the bag with each purchase. Anything like that to keep your name in front of folks when they need your service.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for coming in. You always have such great tips to give us.
My pleasure.
Well, thank you. And we'll be right back with more MTN Live in the Mountains.